Big milestone today, guys. Van is in the booth. It's masked up. You know what that means. We're gonna be painting it. Now, I'm not gonna be doing a conventional paint job on it. What I'm gonna be using is this stuff, Upol Raptor. There's other alternatives to this. There's many brands that are doing their own version, but that's what my paint stockist uses or has. So yeah, I'm going to be using that. I wanted a nice and durable paint finish, so you can go down a country lane and, you know, any overhanging branches I'm not going to worry about. Go down a gravel track or whatever, you ain't going to worry about stones flicking up, especially if there's another vehicle in front of you. Also, not going to be doing it just one color. Going to do some fancy design on it. It's in the booth, it's masked up. I'm going to go get some work clothes on so I don't ruin any of what I'm wearing. And yeah, let me talk you through it. Obviously, all the windows, the roof, because we've already painted that, that's all masked up. The front end, yeah, basically everything that we don't want paint to go onto, we've papered and taped up. I've also masked up all the door handles, and I've in fact fitted the window surrounds, like the rubbers, around the front door windows. And the reason I've fitted these things is because some of these things have got spongy seals behind them, or they require fitting up against something that is flat, like lacquer. So obviously if you mount them on top of Raptor, they're not going to sit right because of the texture in it. Before I fitted them, I prepped just a little bit past where they go, and then refitted them all, and then masked them up, so that then any Raptor, when I spray it, can then just tuck behind where the masking is. So, like I said, I'm gonna do some kind of image on this. And so there's 4 colors. I'm gonna start off with the very top one. So I have to get up on the ladder for that, and then work my way down. It's all been sanded down with a mixture of 180 grit, 400 grit and red scotch, and then obviously blown the dust off and degreased it all. Right, here we go, mixing the Raptor. So in the canisters, they put the right amount of Raptor in there, and then they give you a measuring jug, and there's a handy little line on the side of the jug that you fill up to that line with the hardener. Then you add the hardener into the canister of Raptor. Put the top on, and then you gotta shake it up for 2 minutes. Once you shook that up for 2 minutes, then you can add your color of choice. So in this case, I'm using the factory blue that the van came in. When you ask for some paint, tell them that you're using it in Raptor. If they know what they're doing, they won't put the clear binder in it. It's like mixing squash, so in that respect you're getting like the full concentrated color rather than like a diluted version of it. So then you add the paint in. They say but like 100 mil, but you add 100 mil into the canister and it's almost overflowing, and then you can't get the gun in the canister. I tend to add it up until it gets to the neck of the canister. Top on, and then you gotta shake that up for another 2 minutes. You can then take the top off and you can put the gun, screw the gun on. Obviously if it's a new gun you aren't gotta worry about this, but if you've used it before, make sure that the breather hole is clear on the gun. You might have to pour a little bit out to get the gun in so it doesn't all overflow. And then yeah, you screw that on and you're ready to spray the Raptor on. Okay, so I've painted the blue on. I've put one thick coat of blue on with the supplied Raptor gun. And then the second coat, I've actually diluted it a little bit with thinners and then shot that through a primer gun. And that just takes away the streakiness that you can sometimes get with the Raptor gun. And so yeah, it's had one coat with the Raptor gun and one coat with the primer gun. I've spent this morning masking it up now, so we just got to get the paint, and then we can put the next colour down, which is grey. Obviously I don't want to get any of that on the blue I've already painted, so I've followed the line where I previously masked and papered all over that, protecting it from any of the grey overspray that I'm about to do. Starting to look a little picturesque now. So we've got the blue and the grey on. So obviously you can see that they're mountains. Now I'm masking up for the next colour. And what I've used here, I had a big roll of clear vinyl, and so I've just drawn on the design I want, cut it all out with a nice sharp scalpel. Any other areas then I've papered up to not get any of the next colour sprayed over it. I haven't masked the wheels up because these are just scrap wheels and it doesn't matter if any overspray goes on them. Put a final colour on the van yesterday, still in the booth. Just got to demask it now and then we can do the big reveal. So why don't I crack on with that and you get ready. Can't wait. As you can see, it's all built up as well, but I didn't bother videoing that because it was a bit boring really, and we don't need to see nuts and bolts and clips going back on and stuff. So bumpers on and the grille as well, and then I fitted all the side mouldings like you just saw with the sealer on the clips, and then also all the rear bumper is on as well, and the rear lights. And I also painted the hinges because they were still blue, so I painted them black to match the plastic so they don't stand out. Another thing to point out, that the bumpers and all the plastics, the side mouldings and all the rear end stuff, they've all been coated in black Raptor as well, because the plastics on these vans are notorious for fading. So obviously they had faded, wanted them looking their best, but now they're not going to fade anymore, so that cured that. Right, you've probably seen numerous times on videos on YouTube about sealing where the clips pop into the body on camper vans. So I'm just going to do a very brief explanation why you need to do it. You can see there's 4 poppers on this one, 4 holes, that pops into there, but they're not watertight. You're going to have insulation on the inside of your camper van. Water can get in, it can soak up into your insulation. You don't want that happening, you know what's going to happen. So all you need to do is put a bit of sealer around there, around each clip, just before you pop it on, and then that should stop water getting in then. Just show you on this small panel. So as you can see there, put a bit of sealer around each clip, and that's enough to stop water getting in. There we go. So that's the camper van all painted. What do you think? Admittedly, it's not going to be to everyone's taste, but you know, it serves a purpose. You're not going to worry about any trees smashing into it and stones and stuff getting flicked up and chipping the front end or anywhere else now. So I'm happy with it. I think it came out really well. It's 99% done now. I am missing a towing eye cover down there, so I need to get that and then paint that obviously. But I've also done the steps down here now, because these are prime area from getting scuffed up when people get out of the cab. So hopefully that should protect that. I've obviously done the passenger side as well, and the sliding door step as also. So yeah, let me know what you think. Pop it down in the comments what you think of it. Hopefully you all like it, and if you've got any questions on any of the process of doing it, anything at all really, masking it, applying the paint, mixing the paint, whatever, pop it down in the comments and I'll answer it at the end of next week's video. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Okay, question time. Obviously, because I'm a small fish at the moment, there's not a lot of questions, but there's one or two. First one, never knew they did pods for the Trafics. Well, they don't. I made my own because no one makes them. They're going to be put into production in the near future. If anyone's interested in a set, let me know. either, well, probably the best place to let me know is on Instagram. So catch me on Instagram, give me a message on there. I've got a long wheelbase Trafic, currently a work van, but I want to turn it into a camper at some point. I'm 6'2", side pods would certainly help. Yeah, as I said, they increased the space up to 6'5". Once you add your insulation, it's probably going to be an inch worth there. So 6'4", you still got a couple of inches to spare there. So yeah, that would do for you. If you're interested in a set, let me know. Next question. Most of the commercially available pods have external flanges, so any bolts or screws would be visible. I much prefer, my phone's about to fall out of my pocket. I much prefer your approach with internal flanges to hide the fixings. I know the commercially available ones are intended to just be glued, but I prefer mechanical fixing as well personally. Yeah, I also prefer a mechanical fixing as well, just to make sure, although I haven't tested them yet because obviously the van isn't on the road yet, but I would say they would be fine just with a sealer, because they're no heavier than the glass panels on the side, but obviously they're not as aerodynamic as the glass panels, so that's why I think it's better to have a mechanical fixing as well. As far as I know, there are 2 other companies that do ones with internal flanges, which are Van Speed Shop and Dark EXP, DARCEXP. Not sure how you pronounce that properly, but yeah, they're the only people that I know of that are doing internal flanges. But like I said before, they're only doing them for the big transits and the sprinters and crafters. Actually, I'm not even sure it's the crafters. It's definitely transits and sprinters. Dark might do the Iveco as well. But yeah, no one does it for the small vans, so be it external or internal flanges, I'm the first one to do them for this size van, as far as I know. Next question. Next time you make some, it would be interesting to see the video of you making them. I'll think about it. I do want to make internal trims to like cover where the bolts go. I might do a video on how they're made. Next question, that was off Instagram. Someone asked me, is it base coat that I'm putting into the Raptor? Yeah, and like I said earlier, you can add any base coat as long as it's solvent based. Don't think you can use water-based base coat into it, but it is better to ask your paint supplier to drop out the binder in it, because binder is just a clear base coat and they add that into it just to bulk it up. So obviously you're adding the base coat into the Raptor for its pigment, so you don't need a load of clear pigment going into your Raptor, so tell them to leave that out, and then you've got totally concentrated colour then for your Raptor. You can also add 2K direct gloss into it, but you need to add the hardener, its own hardener. You need to mix that up first before you add it into the Raptor. Another question I keep getting asked all the time at the moment is anyone who's familiar with YouTube, this doesn't apply to you, but people who are new to YouTube watching it and stuff, when you say subscribe, they think money's involved. You have to, you know, a monthly subscription. That's not what it is. It's just, it's the same as like social media when you follow someone. That's all it is. So you click on the subscribe button. You don't have any monthly bills or anything, don't worry. So yeah, if you want to subscribe, it's just to my channel, it's just to keep up to date on my weekly videos. You'll see them in your news feed. Well, you'll see them in your video feed each time the one is released, that's all. So yeah, no money, don't worry about that. I think that's it. I'll do another question session on the next video.